Imagine this moment. You are sitting comfortably, maybe with your headphones on, maybe in a quiet place, or maybe walking outside, and as you listen you feel calm, open, and ready to grow. You want to learn how to talk better. You want to express yourself with confidence. You want your English to feel natural, smooth, and smart. You want to sound like someone who is sure of themselves, someone who knows what they are saying, someone who can share ideas clearly. And that is beautiful, because communication is power. Your voice can open doors. Your words can change how people see you. And the good news is, speaking well is not magic, and it is not only for some people. You can learn it, you can practice it, and you can become very good at it. Today we will talk about how to speak English fluently, clearly, and confidently, in a way that feels natural and smart, without feeling fake or forced. And we will do this step by step, gently, slowly, and with motivation. First, I want you to take a moment to relax your mind. Many English learners feel nervous. They worry about making mistakes, they worry about grammar, they worry about how they sound, and when the mind is full of worry, the mouth cannot speak. So take one deep breath. Inhale, hold, and slowly exhale. You are safe here. There is no judgment here, there is no pressure here. This is your time, and you are improving already, simply by listening. English learning is not only in speaking. English learning begins with listening. When you listen to natural English, slow English, emotionally clear English, your brain learns patterns, rhythm, tone, and structure, even if you don't realize it. So listening right now is already part of becoming fluent. Now many people think that to speak smarter, they need difficult words. But speaking better does not mean using complicated vocabulary. Speaking better means expressing your thoughts clearly, calmly, and with purpose. You don't need big words, you need strong words. You need words that communicate your idea directly. You need to sound like yourself. The real goal is not to sound like someone else. The real goal is to sound like your best self. So the first step is clarity. Speak slowly, not fast. Many learners think that speaking fast means fluency, but it does not. True fluency means you can express your ideas without stress. When you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think. You also give your listener time to understand. You sound more confident when you do not rush. So from now on, remember this: slow is confident. Think of someone who speaks very well, someone strong, calm, and sure. They do not speak fast. They speak slowly and clearly. They choose their words carefully. And their voice feels steady. You can do that too. And when you speak slowly, your pronunciation becomes clearer. You also learn how to use pauses. Pauses are powerful. A pause gives weight to your words. A pause makes your message stronger. A pause shows confidence. When you pause, you show that you are not afraid of silence. You are comfortable with your words. So remember, speaking well is not about talking more. It is about talking better. Now let us talk about another important part of sounding smarter: thinking before speaking. Many people feel pressured to answer fast. They feel like they must respond immediately, but you do not need to rush. It is okay to take a second to think. You can take a breath before speaking. This shows maturity and confidence. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be thoughtful. When you take a moment to think, your words become clearer, your sentences become more organized, and your communication becomes more meaningful. So next time someone asks you something, try this: inhale gently, think for 1 second, and then speak. This small habit can change everything. You may be thinking, but what if I forget words? What if I don't know how to continue the sentence? That is okay. All speakers, even native speakers, sometimes forget words. The key is to stay calm. You can use simple phrases that give you time to think. For example, you can say, "Let me think for a moment," or "How can I explain this?" or "I want to say this clearly." These phrases help you stay calm and keep the conversation flowing. They also make you sound thoughtful and intentional. Next, we talk about tone of voice. Your tone is just as important as your words. If you speak too quietly, people may not hear your confidence. If you speak too loudly, people may feel uncomfortable. The goal is a warm, steady, relaxed tone. Imagine your voice as sunlight, soft but warm, gentle but strong, not too big, not too small. When you speak with a calm tone, you sound confident. And confidence is not loud. Confidence is quiet and steady. Another key to speaking better is listening. Good speakers are good listeners. When you listen carefully, you understand more deeply. You learn how others express their thoughts. You learn rhythm, expressions, and communication style. Listening is like charging your speaking energy. Every time you listen with attention, your brain collects patterns. Later, those patterns become your own expressions. So do not rush speaking. Do not force yourself to talk all the time. Let yourself listen. Let the language enter your mind naturally. Let it soak in. And soon, speaking will feel smoother, simpler, easier. Now, I want to talk about fear. Fear is the biggest blocker of fluency, not grammar, not vocabulary. Fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of sounding wrong. But listen carefully now. Mistakes are necessary. Mistakes are not proof of failure. Mistakes are proof of progress. When you make mistakes, it means you are trying, and trying is success. Every fluent speaker you admire made thousands of mistakes. They made mistakes, but they kept going. And that is what made them fluent. So from now on, do not run away from mistakes. Welcome them, smile at them. Mistakes are your teachers. When you speak and make a mistake, you learn. When you speak and correct yourself, you grow. When you speak even while scared, you become stronger. You do not need to be fearless to speak. You just need to speak even if you feel fear. Confidence comes from action, not from waiting. So start where you are, with the words you already know, and speak slowly, clearly, calmly. As you continue this journey, remember this. Fluency is not one big moment. Fluency is a collection of many small moments. Every sentence you speak is a step. Every attempt is a victory. Every day you practice is progress. You are not behind. You are growing. You are improving. You are becoming more confident. And your voice is becoming more powerful. Let us continue step by step. Now imagine yourself speaking English in a simple conversation, maybe with a friend, a coworker, a classmate, or someone you just met. You want to speak well. You want to express yourself clearly. But sometimes, your mind becomes blank. Words disappear. You feel pressure inside your chest. You feel frustration rising. And you tell yourself, "I know English, but why can't I speak when I need to?" This is a very common experience. And there is a reason for it. When you try too hard to speak perfectly, your mind becomes tense. Tension blocks language. But when you relax, when you let go of perfection, your mind becomes open. And language flows. So learning to speak better also means learning to relax inside the moment. You do not have to be perfect to speak. You do not have to sound like a native speaker to speak well. You just need to speak in a calm and natural way. And calm speaking comes from slow breathing. So next time you speak, try this. Inhale softly before you speak. Let your breath support your words. Let your voice come from a relaxed place. When your breathing is calm, your voice becomes clear and steady, and your mind becomes peaceful. You are more focused. You are more present. Now let us talk about how to make your sentences sound smarter and more fluent. Many learners think they must study very advanced vocabulary to sound intelligent. But real intelligence in speaking is about expressing ideas simply and clearly. For example, instead of trying to say something complicated like, "I would like to propose a possible perspective regarding this matter," you can simply say, "My opinion is this," or "I think this way." Simplicity is clarity, clarity is power. However, there are small language habits that can make you sound more fluent and confident. These habits are not difficult. They are small changes that you can practice easily. One habit is to use connecting phrases. Connecting phrases help your sentences flow smoothly. For example, you can use expressions like, "I think, in my experience, the reason is," "What I mean is," "Let me explain it this way." These phrases give your mind time to organize your thoughts. They also show that you are thinking, and thinking is what makes you sound smarter. To speak smarter, you also need to understand something very meaningful. Speaking well is not just about words. Speaking well is about meaning. It is about communicating ideas and feelings. So when you speak, ask yourself, what is the message I want to share? What is the feeling I want to express? What is the idea I want the other person to understand? When you speak from meaning, your words become stronger. When you speak from your heart, your English becomes alive. Now, let us talk about pronunciation and sound. Many learners try to copy accents. Some want an American accent. Some want a British accent. But the truth is, your goal is not to erase your accent. Your goal is to speak clearly. There is nothing wrong with having an accent. Your accent is part of your identity. Your accent shows your history, your culture, your background. Do not be ashamed of it. The important thing is that your words are easy to understand. So instead of trying to sound like someone else, focus on opening your mouth when you speak, using full sounds, and speaking slowly enough for your pronunciation to be clear. When children learn language, they move their mouths a lot. They exaggerate the sound. That is why their pronunciation becomes natural. So practice speaking English with full sound. Do not speak from your throat, speak from your chest. Let the sound move out comfortably. And remember, you do not need to speak loudly to speak clearly. You just need to speak with intention. Now, let us talk about conversation confidence. Confidence does not come from knowing every word. Confidence comes from trusting yourself, trusting that you can express your ideas with the words you already have. And if you need a new word, you can learn it. Confidence comes from accepting that communication is not perfect. Communication is just connection. It is not about being right. It is about expressing yourself and understanding others. When you focus on connection instead of perfect grammar, your speaking becomes freer. Your voice becomes natural. Your confidence grows. I want you to imagine speaking with someone and realizing that you are not afraid anymore. You are not trying to be perfect. You are just being yourself. You are expressing your thoughts calmly. You are speaking slowly. You are breathing. You are letting the conversation flow. That feeling is freedom. And you can reach that feeling by practicing small courage every day. Small courage means speaking even when you feel shy. Small courage means asking a question even when you worry about mistakes. Small courage means continuing even after you make a mistake. Every time you practice small courage, your fear weakens, and your confidence becomes stronger. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build, one moment at a time. Now let us talk about vocabulary growth. Your vocabulary does not grow when you memorize lists. Your vocabulary grows when you hear words used in real context. That is why listening is so important. When you listen to English conversations, podcasts, videos, and stories, your mind learns how words fit together. Your brain collects patterns. And then, when you speak, your brain uses those patterns. So keep listening. Listen every day, even if only for a few minutes. Your brain learns even when you are not trying. You do not need to force memorization, you just need to expose your mind to English regularly. And when a new word appears many times in your listening, your brain naturally learns it. This is how children learn language. This is how you learned your first language. And this is how you can learn English more naturally. You also do not need to panic when you do not know a word. You can describe it in a simple way. For example, if you forget the word chef, you can say the person who cooks in a restaurant. If you forget the word frustrated, you can say I feel upset because things are not working. When you describe, you practice communicating meaning. And communication is more important than vocabulary size. Now let us talk about mindset, because your mindset controls how you speak. If you think, I must be perfect, you will feel fear. If you think, I will speak even if I make mistakes, you will feel free. Language learning is not about perfection. It is about expression. Your goal is to express yourself. Your goal is to share your ideas. Your goal is to connect, and you can do that now, today, with the English you already know. You are not starting from zero. You have knowledge, you have experience, you have intelligence. Now you are just learning how to express that intelligence in English. You are growing, even if you do not see it every day. Growth is slow and gentle. Growth is small steps. Growth is invisible until one day you look back and say, I speak better now. And that day will come. Let us continue even deeper. Let us continue your growth. Let us continue your confidence. Now imagine yourself speaking in a real situation. Maybe you are talking to a coworker, a classmate, a friend, or someone new. You want to express your ideas clearly. You want your words to come out naturally. To achieve this, do not rush. Do not try to impress. Speak with calm intention. When your voice is calm, your message becomes clearer. When you slow down, your mind has space to choose the right words. Speaking better is not about speaking more. It is about being clear, thoughtful, and present. People who sound smart are not always the ones with the biggest vocabulary. They are the ones who express ideas simply. They speak in a way that is easy to understand. They speak with patience. They speak with awareness. And you can do this too. You don't need complex sentences to sound confident. You need clarity. You need steady breathing. You need belief in the value of what you are saying. When you speak, try to connect. Connection is more important than perfection. If you speak from your thoughts and from your heart, people feel it. Communication is human. Communication is emotional. Communication is energy. People do not remember every word you say. They remember how your words made them feel. So speak with warmth. Speak with presence. Speak with the intention to connect. Now think about pauses. When you pause while speaking, you give yourself time to think. You give the listener a moment to understand. Pauses create rhythm. Pauses create strength. Pauses show confidence. Silence is not empty. Silence is part of speaking, so do not be afraid of small pauses. They help your message land. Let us talk about confidence again. Confidence grows every time you speak, even if you feel nervous. Confidence grows every time you try, even if you make mistakes. Confidence grows every time you continue. You do not need to wait to be confident. You build confidence by doing. The more you speak, the easier speaking becomes. Your future self speaks English naturally, comfortably, confidently. That version of you is already growing. Every time you listen, every time you repeat, every time you learn something new, you are getting closer. You may not feel the progress every day, but it is happening. Progress is quiet, progress is slow, but progress is real, and you are progressing now, simply by being here. You are not behind. You are growing. You are improving. You are getting stronger. You are learning the skill of communication, not just language. You are learning to express yourself with clarity, calmness, and confidence. Take one slow breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Feel your mind relax. Feel your chest soften. Feel your voice becoming lighter, freer, more open. Speaking English is not something far away. It is already happening. You are already doing it. And you are getting better every day. You are improving. You are growing. Keep speaking, even if it feels slow. Keep practicing, even if it feels small. You are becoming more confident, more fluent, and more clear. And you are doing well. Keep going.